Criteria. Is it necessary to become compliant with the Natrona County Development Plan? Number 2, existing zoning of the land was a result of a clerical error. 3, existing zoning of the land was based upon a mistake of fact. 4, existing zoning of the land failed to take into account the constraints on development created by the natural characteristics of the land, including but not limited to steep slopes, floodplain, unstable soils, and inadequate drainage. Number 5, the land or its surrounding environments has changed or is changing to such a degree that it is of public interest to encourage a redevelopment of the area or to recognize the change in character of the area. 6th and final one, proposed zoning is necessary in order to provide a land for a community need that was not anticipated at the time of the adoption of the land development plan.
Doesn't need that one.
Issue 1, does the zone change meet the first criterion? Is it necessary to become compliant with the Natrona County Development Plan? The proposed finding of fact. The Natrona County Development Plan addresses this affected area. It's referred to as Neighborhood 13 Wardwell. The development plan recommends some commercial, limited residential infill, industrial parks to the south, roadway upgrades, separation of residential and commercial traffic. The effect of the recent planned commercial and industrial development complies with the development plan. Therefore, it is the position of the planning department that criteria number 1 is met. As we're all aware, that Salt Creek area is increasingly developing as industrial. It's consistent with the land plan to support the industrial growth. This is a logical step for that. The applicant owns some property to the south and plans on incorporating this property with the property they own to the south for industrial development. Issue 2, does the zone change meet the 5th criteria? The land or the surrounding environs has changed or is changing to such a degree that is in the public's interest to encourage a redevelopment of the area or to recognize the changed character of this area. Proposed finding of fact, prior to 2000, much of the zoning in the Wardwell area was mixed residential, which corresponds closely with UMR. Early residential zoning has given way to the creation of larger light industrial zoning districts, substantially replacing UMR. The evolution of an increased industrial presence in the Wardwell area clearly shows the changed characteristics of this area. It's position the planning determined that criteria number 5 is also met. Public comment. To date, Natrona County Development Department has received 1 public comment opposing the regarded zone change. Opposed to the changing to light industrial, but also recognized the property owner's rights to develop their own property.
State your name and address, please.
Good evening, Chairman McDowell, members of the Commission. My name is Keith Clyler. My address is 421 South Center, Suite 201, Casper. I think staff covered the project well. The indication of the road going down the middle is correct. We own approximately 40 acres, and the Voices own 6 acres. This road will go down in between those parcels so that essentially any traffic generated by the project will be within the project itself and won't be on any of the adjacent roadways except Salt Creek. And we're planning the project in a way that it will help stimulate and connect to Polaris Drive so that actually that will be an enhancement to the whole neighborhood when Polaris Drive gets built, because that will take a lot of the pressure off the Salt Creek Highway. We'll be coming forward with our subdivision plan on replatting that whole area sometime in the next 3 months.
Questions for Mr. Tyler?
I have one. Keith, I'm certainly going to support it, but I did hear from there are some residents living out there now, and I just hope you as a land developer keep in mind what kind of industry you put in there. Like there's people living there and they were concerned about banging all night long or a Thompson Petroleum situation or something like that.
Well, as you know, the Thomas Petroleum type of project would require your approval to go into that location under light industrial, and that's all we request is light industrial. So we're not expecting anything other than the normal industrial type users that are already in that neighborhood. So.
That's the only concern that they raised to me. So I told them I'd pass it on.
Further questions for Mr. Tyler? Those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to zone change 14-2 to please vote selected. Sir, name
Yes.
and address, please.
My name's Dave Phillips. I am property owner on 2661 Forbes Road.
Thank you. Come on, do you have some stuff to share with
Yes.
us? Thank you. What am I am seeing a petition.
Okay, you got the petition of the folks on Blair and Forbes Road that request no more zone changes in our area. We went through 5 zone changes in the past 10 years, or 4 at least, to make up for profit for everybody. Well, in our present economy, the way it's going, everybody's out for the dollar and they ain't out for the people. And that's why we gathered this petition. Nobody's standing for the people. The only one that's standing are the ones that's got money, and that's the people that are out there trying to develop the property that was originally intended to be for residential.
Yep.
When Mrs. Scogan got the water and sewer in out there, my dad told me, he says, Dave, you watch them. They start bringing the industrial in there, they're going to push you out. And that's what I'm seeing. I've lived out there for near 35 years. And with these folks here and my being here tonight, I'm in opposition of not doing it.
Appreciate that. And I appreciate your time on the petition.
Well, I'm
Pass that on. Are there questions of Mr. Phillips?
Mr. Phillips,
yes, sir.
I'm wrestling with it. I keep thinking to myself, well, you know, I drive out there quite a bit, and there's so much light industrial across the street from you, up and down that road now.
I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, there's so much light industrial and activity across
That
the
is
street from you
because
and up and down that road now.
The commissioners have allowed the rezoning of the properties that were intended for public homes, not industrial.
That's right.
The commissioners have allowed this. The people didn't allow it. It's been pushed on us. That's why I'm standing here before you tonight, sir.
And I understand that, but don't forget, you elected the commissioners.
That's exactly right.
No matter what you want, we have to make a decision, one way or the other.
But you're always siding with industrial when it's already been residential.
I understand. It's a tough decision, it really is.
Well, I'm standing here before you tonight because I care about the people, not the commercial use of the property. That's not fair.
Nope.
We put our sweat and tears into the places that most of us have got out there. Yes, some of them aren't real beautiful like they are in town. But if you had a commercial site put right behind your house and you had no control over it, how would you feel about it? It'd put you in a position of wanting to get the machine guns out and go take some people out, wouldn't it? Think about it. As an individual, putting it right behind, for instance, Berg's place. Not 100 feet from Berg's place. How would that make Berg feel? And it was a residential place to start with. Any one of you can identify with where I'm coming from. I'm up to here. The sheriff has been nominated. You fellas have been nominated to serve the people, not individual planners of your own.
Yep.
The sheriff's supposed to have people out there when he's called, right? I've asked the commissioners, I went to the county road bridge to try to help them and the people on Forbes Road to bring gravel in there, just to bring it in. All scattered. I can't get any help there. But they're taking our money. They're taking our money, and where's our tax dollars going? It ain't not our, it ain't in our neighborhood. Gentlemen, I've been living out there for 30 years plus. When are people gonna start standing up right here in this room that are behind the desk and working with the people, not the people that's got the big money?
Amen.
Amen.
Okay? I appreciate you.
Any further questions for Mr. Phillips? For the purposes of the audience, let me read this text of the petition that has been signed. The residents below are not satisfied with the unrestricted nature of the light industrial designation, which could include chemical processing, salvage operations, and businesses of such nature as to create a hazard for those residents domiciled nearby within the 300-foot perimeter of the rezoned area. Without some assurance of the safety of adults, children, pets, and livestock from hazards and noise of potential industrial operations, we do not feel the rezoning serves our interest nor preserves the value of our homes and property and could affect valuations in a harmful and material manner.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and we'll enter this into the record.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Edwards?
Thank you, gentlemen.
I had one question for you.
Yes.
I see a lot of Forbes Road addresses on there, and a lot of Blair Lane.
Yeah.
There's about, it would be 30, 40, almost 50 some signatures on that.
I was unable to reach all of them. Most of those signatures were taken on Sunday. That's when I could reach the people that were gone or
So that's just about all the residences north of there, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
lacking about 20 homes.
Okay. Okay. That was what I was wondering, how many you didn't get signed?
Yeah, there's real close to 20 that didn't get signatures.
Yeah.
I didn't get a signature.
14 on the page.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I was wondering, did you go to the planning commission that evening and
I did.
voice your concern to the planning commission?
I didn't at that time. Terry, if I may use your first name. I didn't at that time because I didn't have enough information, and I still didn't when we had this drawn up. Because I couldn't get a hold of the minutes from that meeting.
You know, when I said I was definitely going to vote on it, now you got me wondering a little bit with these signatures, but I still can't help but think all the other light industrial that's gone up and down
Shut
that
them out.
road and across the street from you, and it's a perfect fit, light industrial in that area. I mean, right across the way from you and down the street, you have the, trucks pulling in all night long, and the revenue department,
Okay, Terry, what I'm going to share with you,
Sure.
turn on your fine tuner, please. That was all residential when my folks bought out there 60-some years ago. And when Mrs. Scogan decided to try to get water and sewer out there, that was all residential planning. That wasn't light industrial, that wasn't commercial use property. The planners or the developers think that they can come in there and start putting industry in a public area. That's not right. If they were to come and do it behind your house, would you accept it? Think of it like that, because I'm a homeowner out there. Would you accept it? Put that behind your house now.
You talking to me?
Yes.
I know, I don't like it.
Each of the-
I understand,
Each of the commissioners that's up front
It's
of
gonna
me.
be a tough decision. It really is. I'd like to ask, when you get done, I'd like to ask the planner something.
Any further questions for Mr. Phillips?
And rural communities do so because they don't want the noise. They don't want the businesses. They want it quiet. So please remember that when you're here tonight making your changes.
So my name is Linda Bergeron, 2352 South Coughlin Avenue. David and Kathy Phillips are very, very good friends of ours. And Dave's heart and soul is in this property. He loves it dearly, as evidenced by that petition. And I want you to realize how important this is to him. And those property owners, please consider that. Weigh it. Balance and justice here. Weigh it properly. And again, do remember your oath of office. Your oath is to follow the Constitution of Wyoming. I hope you look at it often. My concern is a promise has been made and not kept. Your planning and zoning, I know your name well, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Tillman.
Yes, George Tillman. He has attested that, so is Judy Jones. It did happen. A promise has been made and not kept. Okay, and then Forrest, I have heard you in the county commission speak about the heavy truck traffic out there, and it has been a note of grave concern. And you have said something must be done. And you have talked about rerouting the traffic and how that needs to be done. So what we have is a specific amount currently. You need to look at the future, adding more light industrial. Issues need to be addressed. Government is put in place to protect private property rights. So please weigh your decision very heavily, and please don't just snap to a yes or no. Please use your heart and soul in this one, please. Thank you.
Take a question from me, Ms. Bertram.
Yes.
We've heard a lot from you over time, protecting the private property rights. I'm absolutely amazed that you would come up and suggest that you're opposed to this property owner developing his property as he wants to do. It seems totally opposite to all the issues that you have brought forward to us time and time and time again.
Did I not just state that a promise has been made and not
It's
kept?
right out there close, but I will tell you that development is coming, and it's coming that way. There's a road proposed right on the other side of Andy Lane to go all the way out there. I mean, it's coming, and maybe this one piece can be a buffer zone for a while, and I'll vote to not change it now, but I will tell you,
What would a buffer zone look like? How would that be defined? What could you do there? What couldn't you do there? Do you have a definition for that?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, no, I don't have a direct answer to that, other than when the subdivision, if and when it came forward, I believe through the subdivision agreement, we would have full authority to impose whatever buffer onto that subdivision.
I just have one other comment. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tom Reeder, and bringing him out tonight wasn't fair, saying.
Was it? We didn't hear you.
Further discussion.
Was it fair? Is that what you said?
Excuse me, this is now
I didn't start
our
it.
time. Thank you. Further discussion. We have a motion on the floor to deny the zone change. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed,
No.
motion carries. The zone change is denied. Motion on the floor to deny the zone change. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed,
No.
Motion carries. The zone change is denied.